Airbnb owner acted weird. I left when I saw a chair with ropes in my bedroom. Bitch, what? Was watching a YouTube video where the YouTuber tells Let's Not Meet stories of weird encounters with landlords or in hostels. Reminded me of the one that happened to me a few months ago. Disclaimer that might not be as scary as the stories in this subreddit, but watching those videos made me paranoid, which is why I decided to leave that Airbnb rather than risking being a victim in a true crime story. That's a good call. Always listen to your instinct and be paranoid because this might keep you alive, my friend. As I said, this happened a few months ago. If I remember correctly, in January or February 2024. Oh, this is recent. I was visiting family in southern France and did not want to stay at their place even if they offered for personal reasons, which I won't share here. Note that I visit them quite often and usually last minute, so I would never book the same place and I would sometimes book a hotel room which was more expensive but better for me as I don't necessarily want to socialize with the hosts. Even when I would book Airbnbs, I will always search flats or studios flats, not a room in a flat house where other people live. Yeah, that's crazy. Why would you wanna stay with other people? Like why? There's no adventure there. There's just other people. And I want to be on my own, so this is an important criteria for me. So I booked this Airbnb within walking distance to where my family members stayed. That's good. And it looked very nice on paper. I think it was marketed as a house or ground floor flat with access to yard and garden. Sounds very good. It was probably one of the cheaper options. I don't remember for sure, but I wasn't going there for leisure or planning to have a very nice place for myself to have enjoyable holidays, if that makes sense. So I really wanted something for convenience, like you wanted just to sleep there, and wouldn't pay extra for any kind of luxury. There were not a lot of reviews, but a few ones were pretty positive. So I go to that place with my suitcase. There were not many reviews because they were they did not escape from there to leave a review. Just kidding. It's a bad joke. So I go to the place with my suitcase, waiting in front of the house. I contact the landlord who should give me the keys, but he's late. I spent at least 1 hour waiting outside and I'm trying to be patient, realizing at the least the neighborhood is pretty nice and seems safe, even if I need to walk through the areas that are slightly dodgy to get there from where my relative stays. The landlord finally arrives. He seemed like a good man and apologizes profusely, saying he was in another town visiting his cousin or friends. And time flew by. First red flag. He says they were drinking and didn't have time to sober up, so he had to speed on the highway. What? On his motorbike while being tipsy drunk, bro. He stops and asks me half jokingly not to say that in my review. I get a bit serious and tell me he shouldn't drink and drive, but he says he really didn't want to make me wait further. I tell him I won't flag that in my review. Spoiler alert, I will, but I didn't want to start off the wrong foot. Me when I lie. The guy is nice otherwise and seemed trustworthy, very chatty and open to socializing. And frankly, I was just happy I could finally get in and drop my stuff. Second red flag is when he tells me I will be living in a small flat adjacent to the bigger house he lives in. Huh? What? But I shouldn't worry because I will have my own place. Girl, when they say that shit, you should worry. No, no, but you don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, you kind of should. Or, I don't want to offend you, but she wants to offend you. Or, I don't want to be mean, and then they say the craziest shit in the world or the meanest shit you ever heard. So, yeah, no. I will have my own place, own bathroom, own kitchen, etc. I don't like that too much, but I actually think it might be good because I'm not super comfortable being on my own. Girl, you could as well stay with your family if you don't like to be on your own. And a ground floor accommodation, knowing anyone can get into the yard and access the front door. Again, I'm paranoid. So, knowing that someone I know is close by in case something happens gave me a sense of safety. God, I was wrong. He shows me around. All seems okay. It's pretty old. As I said, I wasn't looking for a luxury stay. The part where I will stay, it's on a lower level than street level. Not exactly like a basement. Girl, I just thought basement. Because there is access to garden, but I need to walk down a set of stairs outside and get into the flat through the backyard. This shows mostly when I'm in the bedroom as I see through the windows that it's clearly at the lower level. Next red or rather yellow flag is when he shows me the door close to the bedroom, which is connecting door between my part and his house. I was kind of expecting, but though he might need to at least cross the yard or access through the front door to get at my part of the house. He says this door stays closed and it's locked anyway. Not as a warning for me not to try to open it, but more like you'll notice there is this door. It's useless for you, and what's beyond is not part of what you're renting. We chat a little bit too long for my taste because I was too tired and also still annoyed at his lateness and not in the mood to socialize. He gives me his phone number because Airbnb chat feature is not good. It's easier to use WhatsApp, kind of personal. And then he leaves. I start to settle down, open my suitcase, and get changed before leaving to visit the family. I then go back to the place in the evening and decide to have a shower. If I remember correctly, I'm sure he sniffed your panties while you left. Sorry, the ADHD in me spoke. If I remember correctly, what I'm saying next happened before I took a shower because I remember locking the bathroom door, which I never do when I know I'm on my own. And I recall being quite anxious when taking a shower. So, biggest a red flag before the last drop, I'm sitting on the bed and hear a knock and someone saying my name. 2 seconds later, before I get the chance to answer or even understand where the noise comes from, I hear keys turning in a lock and a door opening. Bro, what? As you might have guessed, it's the connecting door next to the bedroom. And it's next to the bedroom. The fuck? The guy enters and says he can't find his phone. And if he might have left it downstairs or between your legs, he wants to look there. Gosh, I hate this. I'm a bit shocked, probably because he had come 10 minutes later. I'm a bit shocked because probably if he had come 10 minutes later, I would have probably been naked, ready to take a shower, or maybe walking around in a towel since I'm supposed to be alone. I know it might sound like I'm a pussy, but keep in mind I'm a relatively young woman. You don't sound like a pussy. You sound like a normal human being worried about a sick, twisted mind because after all, you're sleeping there, anything can happen, and you have a door connected to a bedroom. Like, what the fuck? I'm a relatively young woman alone in a house with a man in his 40s or 50s who has control over when he can get into my place at any time. I stay polite and try to tell him no, I haven't seen his phone. I would have noticed there is literally nothing except my open suitcase on a couch in the bedroom. He still gets in, speaking a lot and very fast while I'm sitting there, not fully realizing what's happening and not having a chance to tell him to leave. He looks around the flat and obviously doesn't find his phone. What a shocker! Then he says sorry and probably asks if everything is fine. It's fine. Get the fuck out. If I had dinner or something. What? And then he leaves again. At that point, I'm really wondering if I should stay or not. No. No, you not. Better paranoid and alive than or not, since I know you get refunded only if you cancel 2 nights in advance. I just thought I would lose the money. Girl, what about your life? For the night and that has started. It was really after 11 p.m. and the following one, knowing I had booked at least 4 nights. I really needed to take a shower, but questioning if I should. You should not. Go. I tried to see if there are available hotel rooms, but it's already too late to book or already full booked. Yeah, it's Christmas. I decided to take my shower really quick. Wonder if he could hear the shower and decide that he forgot something and get. Girl, that's a risk I will not take. Nothing bad happens. I then go back in the bedroom, get dressed as fast as I can just in case. Sit down and think. I decided that I will just stay for the night and I'll probably be less paranoid in the morning if I'm still alive. See, you are smart. You know the drill. That's when I noticed the chairs in the bedroom. There are two, and one of them has ropes tied around the armsets. Oh, why, why would the chair have that? Like the book. The chairs are in good shape, and the rope is definitely not there to keep the arms as fixed to the chair, as they are just loose. To this day, I have no idea why you were there. You don't have to find out, right? I still think I should sleep there just for the night and try to use a chair to block door handle in the bedroom, like in the movies. But guys, this only works in the movies. Why you say that? Why you say that? What happened? Girl! I try with both chairs, trying to pile them up, even trying to use the ropes one way or another. The handle can still go down enough to open the door easily. I think that at least if I leave them in front of the door, I'll hear if someone tries to open it. But the door opens the other way, and in any case, I didn't know what I do even if the noise woke me up. Yeah, what can you do? Again, I'm paranoid. You are not. And anxious but living alone abroad. My motto is to never ever take risk for my own safety. Thank God. As I'm usually the only one who can save myself, so better avoid any tricky situation. Doesn't mean I never go out, but I wouldn't get drunk around people I don't trust. That's good. And I will take a cab if I feel unsafe going home on my own after midnight. I now live in a city that's rather safe, but had too many bad encounters, and fortunately nothing unusual for most women not to be careful. So from an external point of view, this is a story about someone booking an Airbnb with good reviews, with a nice and friendly landlord who is just overly open, but he likes to meet people. He likes to meet people and tie them with ropes. And the ropes are just a detail. Girl, surviving skills of a potato, the fuck. But for my anxious and paranoid self, again, you are not paranoid. If the premise it's the premise of a horror story or thriller where you shot at the big stupid and trusting victim, like I am now, trusting victim to get away ASAP before the guy comes back. So I decide to call my brother. Thank God. Who came to pick me up around midnight for me to spend the rest of my stay at his place. That's so good. TLDR, I left my Airbnb in the middle of the night because my Airbnb host entered my flat throughout a connection door without warning, and after I saw ropes tied around the armsets of a chair in my bedroom. Girl, that was so many red flags. They were all red, not yellow. Like when he entered in your room, like just unlocked it, like what the fuck? He wanted to do something to you, and I'm sure you will find out in the news that he he does things. And if you don't find out now, you will sooner or later because he is up to no good. Like, what a strange coincidence to have a door connected to the house he lives in, and it's your bedroom. I'm so glad you called your brother because that night will be your last night. I'm so sure of it. Because what the actual fuck? The ropes on the chair and his attitude, and he was talking fast, especially so you don't realize what he's doing. So yeah, uh I'm curious, what would you do, or at what sign you would pack your bags and you will say, you know what, hell nah. Would you stay as much as the OP in that Airbnb or not? Just let me know in the comments. Bye creepers, bye. Mwah! Take care of you.